Hi there, it's Tracy here from the Papercraft Studio. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to show you how I made this Christmas tree step panel card. Okay, so this is how it lies flat, so it will go in an envelope, and then it stands up like this. Mine's been used quite a lot, but it's still standing because I've been doing this in a special class, in a Fancy Folds class. So there we go. I'll go ahead and show you the supplies you need and how to make it. So you need a piece of thick basic white cardstock, and this measures 8 1/4 inches by 4 1/4. You need another piece. This doesn't have to be the thick basic white, just be normal basic white. This measures 4 1/4 inches by 2 1/2 inches. I'm going to go ahead and emboss that in a bit. And then I've used the holly leaves here from the Whimsy and Wonder suite from the designer series paper, and so this piece measures 4 inches by 2 3/4. And then you will need your piece here. If you're doing this in a kit with me, you'll need your piece with the presents on, and we're going to fussy cut those and stick them on here. Okay, so let me show you how to do the scoring. Bring in my Simply Scored. Okay, so on the long side of the, so this is the 8 1/4 side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch, at 1 1/2, at 3, and then at 4. Okay, and just while we've got this here, on your smaller piece of basic white, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 1 1/2. Okay, so that's your scoring done. So we'll work on the card base first of all. So you're just going to fold it, but it's almost in half, it's not quite, just give it a little burnish. And then with these other score lines as well, you're just going to fold and burnish those too. And before we stick this together, so this is going to fold round like this, but before we stick this, we want to attach a piece of designer series paper up here, because it tucks just under this piece. So decide if there's a way you prefer, with the berries showing more. I'm going to go this way, I think. So attach this. This is going to have a small border just around these 3 sides. Go ahead and glue that on. So it's on the piece where this is going to fold round, so kind of the inside piece here. So some glue on here. This is part of my Fancy Folds, something called Fun Folds special class, which I've been teaching in person, and actually it's available to order online as well. We make 6 cards in the series, all with a different folding technique, using the Whimsy and Wonder designer series paper and the dies and some of the stamps as well. So it's a really nice class to get involved with. Okay, so now we're going to put some tape or glue along this section here. I'm going to use my tear and tape. So this is, I folded this last piece over, so I'm putting the tape on the folded edge, and then take the backing off. Oops, mine's got cardstock stuck to it. Come on. Ooh, lots of cardstock. Okay, so when you fold this, you can try and measure it like that, but if you fold it at this point here and have this one folded over, so you're folding it on the second one and folding it on having this one folded over, it will automatically go where you want to go. So come down, so you've got your first score line, second score line, fold over there, and this is already folded at the top, and then that will just stick in the right place, and then that will fold up, and that's how you create that first step. Okay, so for this one I have embossed it with one of the wintry embossing folders, which I seem to have done with most of my projects. So you can see we scored this earlier, so I've already run one through the embossing machine here. So I'm just going to fold those score lines again or to fold them. I don't think we've actually folded them. So that makes a little kind of shelf. So what we want to do is have some tape or glue on this folded side, but on the opposite side down the bottom, okay? Because what's going to happen is this is going to stick onto the bottom here, and then it creates that shape, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put tape on both pieces. Oh, main shot. So along the bottom of this side, but have this one folded over, and along this piece here. Okay, so when you come to, you need to make sure you have this the right way. So you're having this flat, so you're showing the maximum amount of paper. If you've got it folded flat that way and there's only a small amount, that's the wrong way. So come back this way. This piece here is going to center down the bottom and stick to this bottom piece here along the base. And then if you've still got this piece folded over, it will just, where it sticks here, that will be the right place for it to pop up in a second. Okay, so you can see that's how that is flat. So go ahead and peel off the backings or add your glue at this time if you're using glue. So I'm going to line up this bottom layer first. So like I say, have it like this, line it up roughly in the middle at the bottom, and then just stick that down flat, and that will pop up to create that. Give that a little pinch along there to create that little standing card for you. So let's go ahead and decorate. I've already cut my tree and also my little decorative, I guess it's like tinsel, isn't it? So if you have the dies, the Christmas tree dies, this is the one I used to cut in mint macaron, and this is the one I used to cut the basic white. And I also put some an adhesive sheet behind this one to make it a bit easier to stick on. You can dot little bits of glue underneath, but it's a little bit fiddly. So if you've got adhesive sheets, that's a really good one to use. Have a little look before you stick it together how this is going to lie. So basically it does spring out a little bit when you pull it out of the die, but you want to cover this tree. So you're going to start at the point, and then these kind of reach these little branches here all the way down. It's a bit fiddly, and you'll get a little bit stuck up, but just go with it. You'll get there. So I'm going to peel the backing off here. Actually, I'm just going to pull it into me a bit because I can't see one without getting my head in the camera. So all I'm doing here is finding this end to peel off. I prefer to peel it all off. You may prefer to do a little bit, then peel, then a little bit more, then peel. It will spring out of shape as you go. Let's try that actually. Let's attach a little bit. So this point here is looking to match this point, but not right to the top, because these little points still have to go somewhere. So I've kind of lined this point up with this little piece that sticks out there. So that's where I'm starting, and then work your way down. The reason I quite like to take it all off is because I like to see where I'm going at the bottom. So I like to have the top and the bottom stuck down, and then the rest kind of falls into place. So I'm actually going to peel the rest of this off, and it will spring out of place. It will stretch, but don't worry, it will go back. It's just a little bit fiddly to get this off. Like I say, you can use glue if you're confident with that. I'm getting really stuck up here. Just gently move your fingers as you go. Try not to tear it. Okay, last piece. There we go. So you can see it's kind of stretched all out of place. So I'm just going to line up where I think the bottom should go. So I kind of go from that bit over to, actually I might move it across a little bit, from here over to here, and then the rest of it kind of follows these the little shapes that stick out. So you should be able to gauge roughly where you're going with it, but you know, it doesn't really matter. I might have put this up too high even, so I might need to rearrange mine, but just follow it down. Yeah, these are too high up. Follow it down and find somewhere where you can kind of zigzag it across to, whoops, and it should roughly lie in place. That was such a clear explanation, wasn't it? I'm so sorry, but you know, you can see where you're going with this. And like I say, have a little, lie it down without the adhesive backing off to start with, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so I'm just checking what I attached this with. Yes, dimensionals. Okay, so on the back of the tree, and obviously we only want to go up to this ledge here because this bit's not attached to anything. So you want to put some dimensionals, just probably about 4 on the back of this one here, starting near the bottom. So a couple at the bottom, and then a couple a bit further up. I think I'm safe with that. Before you take the backing off, maybe just have a little check. Yes, I'm fine. And what you want to do is have the tree quite near the bottom, but obviously not sticking over this bit, because when you stand it up, you need it to be able to stand without this piece being longer. So when you attach it, I suggest you just push it like that first and then secure it down. So let's take these backings off. I've wanted to do a step panel card like this for a long time, and I just thought this tree was perfect as a kind of centerpiece. Oops, here we go. So I'm going to stand it up like this, and I'm just going to kind of attach the tree towards it like that, but I'm going to do it facing me so I can get it pretty much central. Not too worried if it's not. Okay, so there we go. And then you can flatten it down again and press those dimensionals down, and there we go. If it starts to fall back a little bit, just bring this piece back up and it should stand again. Okay, so there are some little baubles, and in the dies, let me just find them. It's really good actually, because you can cut 8 in one go, so you're not cutting individual baubles, which is, you know, a relief. I don't think I have 8 here, but I'm going to go ahead and attach them anyway. I might speed this up a little bit because you don't really want to see me just putting baubles on. So if you're not confident in just dabbing glue on the back of each of them, have a little scrap of paper and just put some, whoops, a little pile of glue here, and then take your pick tool. I can't see mine on my desk at the moment, so I've got an old what are these called, paper piercer, I think. So yeah, just pick up some glue, pick up the bauble, and then arrange however you want. So you'll probably go ahead and have 8, and especially if you have a kit from me, you'll definitely have 8. Just be careful when you're opening the kit because they might fall out, but attach as many or as few as you want. You could always put some, whoops, rhinestones on as well. Come on, stay there. Yeah, so you choose. Okay, then you'll also have a tiny little silver star to pop up the top here, and I've lost mine for a second. He may turn up in a minute, but for now I'm just going to move on with the rest of the card. Okay, so fussy cutting. I know how much you all love this, but I just really liked how you could pop these presents in. So I've gone ahead and cut some of mine. So I wanted to include some of the different colours with the mint macaron and the pinks, and I just wanted to show you here as well. It doesn't matter if you get a piece at the bottom of the paper, because actually if you look at this one here, I've tucked it behind. So if you've got paper with little offcuts at the bottom, just use them up on this, because nobody's going to see. So I'm just going to cut this one, and of course it's great because most of these are straight. I'm not worried if I'm going to cut a little bit of that bow off. There we go. So yeah, so all I did, let's bring this one back in, is arranged them first how I wanted them to be. And this little one here, look, I've cut right down because this was this present, so I could hide that one a bit more, tuck it in, but I think I probably just had a sheet at the bottom, to be honest. So have a little play around. All of these ones I've stuck down flat. Just be careful that you only attach it, oops, sorry, no higher than this pit here, and then these two at the front I attached with dimensional. So have a little play first what I also did was tucked some behind the tree, sort of kind of tucked it in a little bit, like down here, so in case I didn't have space for all of them. Oops, that's upside down. So yeah, you can just have a little play around there. I think I'll put that one behind, and then maybe, I don't think I've got as many cut here, but you can add some more in. I just want to have one more little one, sorry, I should say. Let's get this little pale pink one here. Blushing Bride, because then it coordinates with the baubles. Okay. And that one I just tucked at the bottom here. So have a play around, like I say, but then you can go ahead and attach them. Just don't come out too far, because obviously this needs to go in an envelope. So I'm going down to the bottom only on this one, because this I want to have sticking up here. Ooh. I might just chop a little bit off this one. So you can play around and have these obviously however you want to. Get rid of that one a sec. I want this a bit lower than that first one. And then I don't want that to be as big either, so I'm going to take some off of there, because I still want to see the odd bow in that from this one. Yeah, that will be fine. And you can take your time, obviously, arranging these. I just wanted to make it look like, you know, Santa had been and there were lots of presents under the tree, as we all hope there will be. Okay, this one, like I say, I popped on a dimensional, just to give it that little bit of difference there. And then the same on this side. Just always bearing in mind that not all of them will be attached to something, so trying to get them so I've got the bows and the holly and things the right way up, but just slot them in and kind of pop them at a bit of an angle. I don't know about you, but all our presents get a bit jumbled up under the tree. It's nice then, you can't really see what's what until we actually go to give them out. Here, and then finally dimensional sorry, on the back of this one. And let's have the bow up the top. Here we go. I don't think I've gone too far out. If you think you have, just bring it back over a little bit, because you might not get that in the envelope. Anything else? I found it. I found my star. Yay. So, well, that's not teeny tiny bit of glue this time, and just attach it to the top of your tree. You might get a little bit messy there. Wait for that to dry before you pop it in an envelope. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed watching me make my Christmas tree step panel card. Take care. See you soon. Bye.